What does courage look like in the face of occupation? For Ahed Tamimi, it looks like defiance, resilience, and a voice that refuses to be silenced, even from behind prison walls. They Call Me Lioness is the searing memoir of Ahed Tamimi, a Palestinian activist who became internationally known after a viral video showed her confronting Israeli soldiers outside her home in Nabid Salah, a village in the West Bank. Co-authored with journalist Dena Takruri and published in 2022, the book offers a rare and personal glimpse into the day-to-day realities of Palestinian resistance, occupation, and the cost of fighting for freedom, especially as a young girl in a highly militarized environment. Tamimi's voice throughout this memoir is bold, direct, and deeply human. What sets this memoir apart is not just the political significance of her story, but the emotional truth she brings to every chapter. From her childhood in a family of activists to her time in prison at the age of 16, Tamimi shows a remarkable ability to narrate both the political and personal aspects of her life with clarity and conviction. This book was phenomenal in helping me also understand on my journey to figure out what's going on with Israel, Palestine, and Gaza. I would highly recommend listening and or reading this book. The writing is clear and accessible, likely thanks to the collaboration with Takruri, and please excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that name. And it carries the urgency of a young woman who has lived more than most people her age. While the tone is often raw and emotionally intense, it's never preachy or overly rhetorical. Instead, it invites the reader into a lived experience, one that is at once deeply individual and part of a larger collective struggle. Tamimi doesn't shy away from the contradictions in her own life. She grapples with fear, anger, grief, and the weight of becoming a symbol, all while she's still a teenager, mind you. These moments of vulnerability elevate the memoir beyond political testimony and into the coming-of-age story forged by extraordinary pressure. In They Call Me Lioness, Ahed Tamimi recounts her own life growing up in the occupied Palestinian territories, where military raids, arrests, and protest marches were a regular part of childhood. The book centers on the viral moment when Ahed, at 16, slapped an Israeli soldier following the shooting of her cousin, a moment that led to her arrest and international headlines. But this memoir is not just about that single act of defiance. It traces Ahed's journey through her early years, shaped by activism, loss, and a family deeply committed to resistance. The narrative spans her arrest, her time in Israeli prison, and her reflections on solidarity, justice, and the power of youth-led moments. Through her story, the memoir also sheds light on the broader context of occupation and the challenges faced by Palestinians, especially young women, navigating through both a military presence and a conservative society. I would give this book a 5 out of 5. It is powerful and a necessary read for those who are trying to understand the human side of this conflict. Israeli. I would probably read it again. I have to say that it was very touching, even to this day, and it's been about a month or so that I've read this book before I recorded this, that there's still images that I see from her story. I would highly recommend it. It is a very good book and is a very emotionally heavy at times, especially when she's talking about when she's in prison. That was tough for me. But again, I would definitely recommend it and truly enjoyed listening to this book.